what's up, everybody? So we got G2J on the
What up?
podcast. I think this is like episode 188 now, 188. So this is dope. We were just
Wow.
we were just talking before going live, and I kind of cut him off. So I'm gonna let him pick up right where we left off. And I think shout out to Crypto Aaron. We were talking about getting into crypto. So I'm gonna let you take it away once again for all my listeners. This is G2J on TikTok. I'm gonna have everything linked in the description and all that stuff, so you guys can go find them. But yeah, how you doing, brother? Yeah, I guess you can just.
I'm doing good. I was talking to John here about, I was watching an interview with Crypto Aaron. Shout out to Crypto Aaron. I really like his content.
Yes.
But he was
Same.
explaining the way he got into crypto. I feel like a lot of people, at least in our generation, how we saw it. We see, hey man, how are people making money from this? We start doing some research. We start looking at coins like I know me personally, I started looking at Bitcoin because that's the thing everyone's talking about.
Yeah.
And when I looked at the price, when I first saw Bitcoin, it was about $3,900. So you might go, okay, I wish I could buy Bitcoin at that price, but at that time period in my life, $3,900 was more money than I made in a month. So I didn't have that type of money. I'm like, how do I get into crypto? I can't buy this. So I'm doing some research. I'm looking around and I ran into some cheaper token called Dogecoin. I'm like, oh, this thing is like, I think Dogecoin is like 1/3 of a penny or something like that, or probably less than that. And, I drew a couple bucks in there. I think I brought maybe $85, $90 worth of it and just completely forgot about it. And then when I think 2020 hit or 2021 hit, and I saw the hype on the news about Dogecoin, I checked my account.
Mm-hmm.
And I had like $35,000. My jaw just dropped. And I said, I got to learn about crypto like this.
Bro.
I don't know what's happening, but I need to learn how this works.
Were you able, I don't know if that's too much information, were you able to secure your profits somehow? Like, or
Yeah,
did you
listen,
wait too
so
late, or did you?
no,
Sage had the same story and he couldn't.
I didn't sell at the top. I think when I sold mine, I think Doge was like 50 cents, but it still was pretty good. It was like 55, 60 cents. And I think it peaked out at like 70, 76 cents.
76, yeah.
So I would say somewhere around 55. I don't remember the exact number. I just saw the account balance and I was like, yo, what the hell? Like I've never had this type of money in my life. The most money I've ever had in the bank, maybe $1,000, right? Saved. That's the most I've ever had. Because usually, you go to work, you get paid every 2 weeks, then you pay your bills,
food,
and then you're broke again.
Yeah.
And then, it's a repeating cycle. So you're very lucky. Well, at my point, I was very lucky to have $1,000. So to have that type of money, I'm like, yo, what the? Okay.
There's more to this.
Let me take this out. And I think I left only $1,000. I only kept like $1,000 or $2,000 worth of Doge, and I cashed out like 35 grand. And I just had this money. I didn't know what to do with.
That's amazing.
So
this was last year?
This was, what year is this?
2022.
Yeah,
so
this was like in April of last year. And this
so
is when I was like, yo,
I'm out. And then you're like, there's got to be more to this than just
correct.
this. That's exact, bro. Every single person that I've talked to that had the Dogecoin as their first investment said the same thing, because that was me too. I said, yo, there's got to be more than this. And I'm just like, I heard of Bitcoin in 2015. You ever see I don't know if you heard my other podcast, Dope, the movie Dope. That's where I first heard about Dogecoin. I was in 2015. And they were trying to literally explain it to us in that movie. And they used that movie to showcase the use case of it. But we made it seem like, well, for me personally, made it seem like it was, this is a dark web. This is a drug.
Yeah,
I'll get in trouble using it. You know what I mean? Like I want to use it, but I'm like, man, I want to get in trouble using it. People are buying guns off market. So that's what the narrative. But it was actually explaining like, yo, you can basically trade whatever it is you have, your currency, like whatever you sell, have your fiat money and then convert it to Bitcoin, and it had it on a wallet. He had it on a ledger or whatever, and he's like, here, there's like 70,000 or 7,000 Bitcoin on here that's worth this amount of money, $1.2 million or whatever at that time. And it was just like, it just went over my head.
And I think it would go on. I think that would go over most people.
Yeah, I was just like,
you're using words like wallet,
yeah,
1,000. It's like, what the hell is this stuff, right?
It's just crazy to me. It was crazy to me how it was in our face, like a pop, I was a big movie, And there's way other movies that they talk about it, but that was in 2015, and just like how you said, like 1 year, your whole life, like you've made the amount of money you've never made in your life. You know what I mean?
Ever. Correct. I've never made this, and that's kind of, I think you're gonna get a lot of people who's gonna get their start that way, and that's why I don't really,
I know, right?
I know a lot of people are big on having invested in crypto with utility and
Yeah.
things of that nature, but yo, we can't keep dogging, things like Shiba or
Even the
Doge,
new ape
because
coin, right?
even ApeCoin, and
The
I
new
think
ape coin.
ApeCoin has more. I think ApeCoin does have more utility
I
going
yeah.
forward. But
Yeah, I want to talk about that
you
a little
will
bit.
get some new people who are going to pay attention. They're going to look at one of these coins. It's kind of like a marketing thing. They
Mm-hmm.
see it and they go, okay, let me see what this is. They buy a little bit. Next thing you know, they start doing more research and they start finding, oh, what's
Mm-hmm.
Ethereum, right? Let me figure out what that is.
Mm-hmm.
And slowly, as they keep going through that
And they go down the
process.
top 100 and they start seeing like, oh, I mean, it's like the same cycle because like I love thinking about that stuff because I'm like, all right, because when I got in right with Dogecoin and then I was like, all right, I made some money off of this and I was like, whoa, there's got to be more to this. And I was like, okay, crypto's not something that's like I've never heard of it before, right? I've heard of it because of Bitcoin, so it's not something completely new. But I was like, I never researched what what it could look like in the future, right? And I wish I did. Everyone wishes they did in 2017, 2016. Knew that
But hey,
at some point in time.
I don't think it's too late.
Exactly, and I just realized that like at some point in time, this is gonna be something that's gonna be all over the world, inevitably
Yes.
in our lives, just like emails, text messaging.
Yep. Agree.
Zoom now, right? Zoom. This is like
Agree.
normal. This is
Yep.
this is the basis of meetings now. People would
Correct.
rather just go do Zoom meetings, rather than pull up and wear a nice suit. People just wear
It's the same thing if you think about, like, remember in there was one point in time where we paid cash for everything. You go to the supermarket, you peeled out $5, $10, you paid with your nickels, your dimes, your quarters.
And that was normal.
Now it's normal to pull out a plastic card. That's a digital payment,
or
right?
Tap on your phone.
Or you tap on your phone, Apple Pay and Android Pay, Google Pay, whatever that case may be, and you make a payment, right? If you go back in time and told those people, oh yeah, we're not going to be using cash anymore, we're going to use this plastic card,
slap you silly.
people will laugh at you. People will say, this is ridiculous. What are you talking about? You're crazy. I don't want to invest in stuff like that. And then you fast forward, Visa, MasterCard, and all these blew up.
I literally had an experience a few days ago. I went to this mom and pop shop. Like they sell like corn dogs, hot dogs, like just like, like food. And they say cash only. And I was upset, not like mad. I was just like, what?
I get up.
Like,
yeah, I'm
the
same way.
I was like annoyed, I was like, man, I don't have no cash. Like, I was like, cash only. Like, come on. Like the mindset that we've already been programmed to where back then it used to be by default, everything was cash. And then when some places would not accept debit and you wouldn't care. Now it's like the opposite to where it's like cash only and you're like freaking out. Oh, I gotta go ATM, I gotta pay the fees or whatever. Like I gotta find
it
ATM.
Actually hurts. It will actually hurt if you're a business owner and you don't accept, Visa, MasterCard, credit card. It's gonna hurt your business.
Like I would most people see cash only, oh man, and they just keep going. They can't buy anything. And I'm like, that's crazy.
And I know why. It's probably the credit card processing fees kill a lot of these small businesses, man. They're I never understood how like that system worked. I just thought you swipe your card and the money goes from me to you. That's what I thought.
Yep.
When I got into crypto, I started learning about how credit card processing works. There's a middleman. That's the Visa and the MasterCards. Yes. Every time you swipe that card,
Venmo,
they take a fee.
Yep.
They take a fee, I think, from you and the vendor.
Yeah, and then it goes through the middleman to verify that, okay, this is because someone explained to me how Venmo works and Zelle works and stuff. It's getting pulled from your account. The middleman, which is the company that's sending the money out, confirms with your bank, hey, so we're taking money out of John's account and we're going to pass it through and send it to Ju's account. So they'll talk to your account and say, hey, you're going to get $100 from John's account. We have it here. We're going to front it to you because it hasn't cleared on his end yet. So we're going to front it to you. Your bank is either going to give it to you right away. Most often than not, they will now.
They issue you a credit.
It's a front. That's basically
they front you. Yeah, they issue you the money on your account.
Yep.
And then you got to kind of wait. Sometimes it can take a few days, 3-4 days.
They've gotten faster though. They've gotten faster to where it's like an hour now. Maybe instant. Like
it depends on how much money you're moving.
Exactly. Yep. And your bank history, et cetera. Yo, that's the funny thing, right? And it's like crypto. It's like my actual money is actually digitally getting sent to you
Yes.
immediately, depending on the
Yes.
blockchain. Bitcoin will take you an hour, but
Yeah.
eventually you will get it, and it's actually my money that I sent is actually in your wallet. But like the Zelle and Venmo, it's technically a credit. They're fronting you the money, and then when they get the money, then
Correct.
it clears. And like, okay, it's good. John's money did go, and we got it, but so you're good on our end. You know,
And
Cash Apps like that too. It's all they're all just crediting your money. It's not actually your money.
and, and outside of Ethereum, the fees for doing it is pretty low, you know.
Yeah, and
Besides Ethereum.
that's why I'm thinking. I'm like, yo, once Ethereum gets to that once 2.0 comes out and they switch over to consensus layer, right? The new name they're going after, or their new name is it's going to be consensus layer. I guess that's like that's like their official name. You know what I mean? For all the investors, it sounds smart. You know what I mean?
Did they say that? So I remember I was watching videos. Someone said they're not going to change the name to Ethereum 2.0. They're just
Yeah,
going to call it still Ethereum.
It's still Ethereum, but it's technically going to be the consensus layer. That's like what the formal name will be. We're gonna
Okay.
know it as Ethereum. Obviously, they're gonna keep it as Ethereum, but it's still gonna be called like it's gonna be called to all these billionaires. Oh, this is the consensus layer. Like it's
Okay.
weird.
Yeah.
There's like an article about it. I pulled it up. I think 2 weeks ago on with the podcast, but I think before Sage. But it's just crazy how I think of a world when Ethereum actually gets its stuff together and the fees are gonna be reduced. How many people are gonna
Ethereum's going to
jump?
be king.
Yeah, how many people are gonna jump back and just say, "I'm just gonna use Ethereum. It's been here long enough." And what happens to all these Ethereum killers? I love Avalanche,
I
right?
don't.
Luna,
That's a good question.
Avalanche. Like,
It's that is a
what
good
happens to
question.
them?
I think, man,
Their
I
whole
think is
sole
there's
purpose is to beat Ethereum.
this is how I see it, right? Let me use an analogy for you. You got two smartphones. You have an Apple phone, you have an Android phone, right?
Yep.
Think of that as that's a layer one network, or let's just use it as that. You have one platform that's Apple, one platform that's Android. Right now, globally, worldwide, Android is about 78% of the entire global market. That means there are more Android based devices than
Mm-hmm.
Apple. It's a larger amount, right? So now on your smartphone, you have an app store, right? That's where third party vendors can come in and put an app on your app store. Ethereum has so many more apps built on it than everybody else.
Yeah.
It's going to be rough. I think over time, and this could be 50 years. I don't know how long it's going to take. It could be 20 years from now. Over time, these other blockchains are going to, because when there's competition, right, it allows everyone to kind of raise their standards up there. Everyone has to compete.
Yep.
I think those other vendors are going to say, okay, Ethereum has all these applications. Everyone's building on it.
Everyone
Right up
wants to
front.
build on it. Yeah.
I think everyone will. When that happens, when Ethereum 2.0 come out, I think everyone's going to flock to Ethereum. It's going to hurt all those other
Yeah.
layer ones.
It's
They're
gonna
going to get
suck
hurt.
the liquidity out of all those alts and flood into Ethereum. Ethereum's gonna have a nice pump. It's gonna take a while for us to see the things level out. And the top 10 is
Yes.
going to change dramatically. And that's why I know I don't want to cut you off, but there's a reason why there's some things that I want to I've been thinking about. And I think we're on the same page. The top 10 will change and there's going to be some tokens that will sneak up in there. The Quants,
Yep.
KDA, different types of tokens that aren't predicated on, oh, we're better than Ethereum. We're faster than Ethereum. We're more scalable than Ethereum. They don't care about Ethereum. These tokens don't
Yep.
care about what Ethereum does. Those will be the ones that will sneak up into the top 10 and just do their thing. That's what I think. And there's a few that I named, right? And I want to talk to you about that later about your tokens, but yes, that's literally how that's literally how I'm thinking too.
But that's just the first step.
Yeah.
That's going to happen first, right?
Yeah.
But over time, what's going to happen is, and we know how technology is, and if you work in the technology business, if there's only one piece of technology that exists, there's going to be problems,
Yep.
right? There's going to be issues. Those other layer ones that we spoke about, or maybe new ones that may come up in the future, are going to say, hey, we can solve that problem.
Yep.
They're going to come out with a solution. And that's going to start attracting people to start using different platforms.
And then it levels out.
It will level out. I think Ethereum will still be king, but there will be room for other layer ones to come in there and operate. I don't think there's just going to be one. That's it. Ethereum, everything else is dead.
It'll never happen. That's a monopoly. I mean, Like
Correct.
people were freaking out about Facebook trying to do that, right? When Facebook became Meta, or before they became Meta, they bought Instagram, they
Then
bought
they buy
WhatsApp,
Instagram. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
then
They
they tried to buy
purchased
Snapchat.
everything.
They tried to buy Snapchat. And Snapchat said no, and then they just created stories and killed Snapchat,
They
right?
killed Snapchat.
And then and people were like,
You're
"Yo,
right.
Facebook is just trying to take over everything." Google bought YouTube, and I know Google bought a bunch of other stuff. I can't even think of the top of my head, but the main thing that they bought obviously was YouTube, right? And you start seeing them like Microsoft and like how many search engines are there? That's like the thing I ask people on the podcast. It's like you can count on your fingers how many search engines are there. There's Google,
I
Bing,
only
Yahoo.
know. I don't. Maybe DuckDuckGo. I only
And
know
that's
like
not
three
even that's not
searches.
even a
That's it.
mainstream. That's like crypto.
Yeah.
For
Yeah.
mainstream, it's literally Yahoo, Bing, and Google. That I know. And then
Do people still use Yahoo?
I don't think so. I don't think
Yeah,
so.
Google has to be like 95% of all searches, man. Google is king there. But you're right. There's those large monopolies. It's not good for people like us, or the consumers, people who need to use these products. If there's only one vendor out there and they have complete control of everything, it's hard for them to innovate. They don't need
Mm-hmm.
to. They have no competition. Pumping right now, I don't understand. I need to do some research. Ethereum Classic is
I
almost
know.
double
I
the
have someone that's
price.
invested into it at $6. I mean, that thing hit like a all-time high, like $100 but the fact that it's pumping right now, I saw that the new. I don't know if it's true now, but they're like able to work with it. They're EVM compatible, so it means that they're going to be able to quote unquote talk to Ethereum. They're going to be able to utilize Ethereum and work with each other. It's like kind of weird.
Wow.
I'm like,
Listen, I'm one of those noobs where when I first got into crypto, I used Robinhood, and
me too.
Robinhood doesn't. They don't. And listen, I still have a Robinhood account. I buy ETFs and stocks and stuff still on Robinhood, and obviously almost all my Dogecoins in Robinhood because I just couldn't move it because I didn't understand about wallets at the time when I was first purchased it,
Mm-hmm.
and there's no wallet feature, and I don't want to pay taxes trying to move all the Dogecoin, but anyway, Robinhood doesn't have a lot of cryptos on there, but one of the cryptos they do have is Ethereum Classic. And because I didn't know what the heck the difference between Ethereum and Ethereum Classic was when I first got started, I was like, well, Ethereum is $1,500 at the time. I'm like, well, I'll buy this Ethereum Classic thing. And yeah, I learned real quick. And then I ended up buying it at the top. I think when I started buying, accumulating more, it's like $120. So I got wrecked.
Oh no. At 120?
That's okay. So yeah, about $120 I got in. I put 10. So what's that? That's about $1,000 I put in.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, that didn't work out very well. I think I ended up selling it. I think I sold it around like $85. And I was like, all right, I need to figure out how this stuff works. And it just kept
you like work a little, like makes you not work harder, but like put your mind into like going, okay, I gotta figure something out, right? Like makes you like kind of do your due diligence and stuff like that.
Yeah, instead of before I was just buying and hoping it goes up, like it's like flipping a coin, like, oh, maybe it go up, maybe it go down. I don't know what will cause the value to go up or down. Right. So then I started doing research and figuring out. I learned what Ethereum Classic was. I learned about the original days of Ethereum, how they got hacked, and how they made that transition. And I'm like, okay, why is Ethereum Classic still around? And I didn't understand its use case for today. And then obviously you told me right now, why it's probably pumping is, there's someone figured out a better use case for where they can communicate with Ethereum. I was like, okay, that kind of makes sense. This thing is almost up double its cost in what, 4 days?
Yeah, it's going insane. It's like it's on a massive tear right now.
And I have a little bit. I have not a lot. I have like maybe 4 or 5 of them. But hey, I take it.
Yeah,
I will take it.
Let it keep pumping a little bit. I think I'm gonna pull it up real quick.
I even have some Litecoin too. I know a lot of people ain't gonna like that. I have Litecoin too.
That's all right.
Litecoin is doing this. Litecoin's an OG.
Yeah, it is. I've never invested into it. I feel like it's the same thing. It's like I think it was originally a fork of Bitcoin. I think trying to be a better version of Bitcoin. I think.
But you know what I noticed though too, from an investing standpoint, let's just take tech out of it, right? Its use case.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at the chart, Litecoin has pumped significantly when Bitcoin does, by a lot. And I'm
Yeah.
like, you know what? All right, here's the thing. I got $600. Here you go. I'll leave it there. I'll leave it there for 10 years. I don't care. Right?
Leave it for 10
It's
years.
and it's done well. So I think the positions that when I got to Litecoin, I started accumulating. It was somewhere around maybe $90, right? $85. Is that 122? It's not enough to where I'm going to sell it. I'm just holding it, right? It's just
Yeah.
there. I don't have a lot of it, but I'm just going to hold that for the next 10 years. I don't care nothing about it. I don't plan on buying anymore,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
I
Hey,
will
you
hold
never
on to it.
know. You never know.
Yeah.
Just think about overall long term in about 5 years, 10 years, the whole crypto market is going to expand, right? In regards of market cap. Right now we're sitting barely at 2 trillion or trying to get back to 2 trillion.
Yeah,
Over
we're at
time,
1.9. Wow.
it'll be at 10 trillion at some point in
Whew.
time. And when that happens, that money is
That money
not
has to
only going to be in Bitcoin, not only going to be Ethereum,
correct.
it's going to be all, you know what I mean? So Litecoin may just be pumped to the moon just because of its history.
Yeah.
New people coming in, new people, getting into crypto. No one goes into crypto automatically already knowing everything there is to know about crypto. Like, it's just not,
Correct.
because otherwise you would have already been, you know what I mean? Like, you get into crypto, everyone has to go through their trials and tribulations and go through their rabbit hole. Everyone will see Litecoin, and sometimes people will look at the history, like, dang, it's been around for 10. By default, a lot of these tokens are just going to pump, whether or not it's use case or not. Use case actually keeps the longevity of it and partnerships and all that stuff. It's like a whole different.
Correct.
But there's like so much I want to like talk to you about, but like I gotta I guess like we're good to go now, so I gotta like roll it off to where it's like
Okay.
we're back. Technical difficulties. I believe we were talking about what were we talking about?
I think we were talking about Ethereum just becoming king and
Oh
maybe
yes, the money
layer ones
leveling
maybe
out.
dying.
Yes, all right,
Uh-huh.
cool. Now we're back and rolling. Back. We're good to go. So yeah, I agree with you. I think that over time the market will level out in regards to the layer ones, the battle of the layer ones. Ethereum will always be king. I think I don't ever see
I
Ethereum
I
losing.
agree. I agree.
But these tokens, these layer ones or crypt coins, they're going to have to move away from saying, "Oh, we're the gas key filler, gas fee killer. We're the Ethereum killer. We're better. We're faster. We're scalable. We don't shut down. I mean, Solana shuts down all the time, but we don't like that narrative of saying that their gas fees is better than Ethereum's to keep people from using Ethereum to use them. When Ethereum fixes that problem of being able to scale without shutting down, being able to have dApps built on it, smart contracts forever being utilized like proficiently and like, obviously healthy with no problems, and everyone, us, the consumer, using it with
Yep.
no complaints of the gas fees, like no more people complain about gas fees, and like it's like Avalanche is like 30 cents, 10 cents. We're just using Ethereum all day, every day. People are gonna just not care about, oh, we're better. It's like you have to really put your stuff together and build a really good product and move away from trying to compete with Ethereum, because at that point Ethereum is gonna be uncomparable. You know
But
what I mean?
who are they marketing that slogan to? Like gas fee. All right, as a consumer, we know okay, gas fees is ridiculous,
Mm-hmm.
But let's talk about like people who are building apps on these layer ones. Are
Exactly.
they
Yeah.
talking to them and saying, hey, listen, our solution, let's use Avalanche for example. Our solution is more scalable, it's cheaper, it's easier to develop on. This, by the way,
Yeah.
I don't have the answer to this, but I wonder who are they trying to market to? Because if you get enough people to build on your blockchain, it's going to do well, right?
Yeah.
The more apps you have, the better.
Yeah, and then you grow, the ecosystem grows, and then more dApps are built upon the dApps are already built. So layer 3 should start going deeper and deeper. That's like how crypto kind of works in a sense, huh? Like like you said, like I wonder who they are targeting, and going into a world where Ethereum is kind of like to where dApp creators, layer 2 creator developers, they're comfortable moving on to Ethereum, because obviously right now Ethereum is for people who have money. People who have money don't really care about gas fees. It's just nothing to them, right? They got
Yeah,
30,000, like 30, 40, 50 ETH. They're just like, oh, 0.779 ETH. And to us, it's like, damn, it's like $400. To them, it's like, oh, whatever. That's why you see people buying these NFTs for like 3 ETH, 5 ETH, like it's nothing.
like
You
it's
know,
nothing.
eventually it'll get to like Avalanche, right? You have like, there's people that have thousands of Avalanche, but Avalanche was only like, under $1 or 300 or $3 or whatever. Solana, people have all these tokens and they're playing. Now they're able to buy and maneuver through the market without second thought.
Yeah, and think about the average person, right? The average person don't got $20,000 to spend.
Yeah.
Right? I can only use myself, right? I will get paid. I work 2 jobs. I have my main job and I have a side job that I do. I try to invest almost 100% of all the money I get from this second job. That's why I got it. I want to take all of that money and invest it.
Yes.
So let's say I got it's payday, right? I got $400. You know, I want to, and I think I ran into this problem. I wanted to buy some VXV. All right, so I want to spend about $100 on VXV. I had to spend $35 in gas fees. So out of my $100, almost half of it is in gas fees, right?
And you're like,
and then there was an error. If there's an error, right, you lose your money, right? Like, what the heck? So it kind of scares you away. Like, I don't want to lose $35, bro. That's a lot for someone that's only taking $200 to try to invest it.
That's crazy because there's different levels of crypto investing, and I'm in that same boat where I'm like, man, I'm gonna spend $100, $200 trying to buy this token that's on MetaMask or whatever the case may be, these like off cold wallet, whatever, hot wallet, whatever, and not have to worry about going to a centralized exchange or whatever. You had to deal with the gas fees, and in a world where there's all these other layer ones that offer, we are the solution to that. But when that's not a problem anymore, you got to pivot now. And that's what we were just talking about, how these layer ones, they have to have some reason why developers want to build on their protocol.
Correct.
With regards when it comes to DeFi, staking, yield farms, I don't know, securities, so much stuff that crypto can be involved with. NFTs, obviously, now at this point, layer ones need to offer NFTs now, right? Otherwise, people aren't going to want to play on their land. You know, it's just fascinating to me how that's how we've evolved. Like layer ones have to have NFT innovation. They have to have DeFi section for people to do.
Now listen to everything you're saying right now. And this is for anyone that's listening to this podcast. This is your sign to know this is why you're still early.
Yeah.
You see all these problems that need to be solved. Yeah. This is not crypto.
Security,
not ready.
hacking,
these fees. It's a lot that has to happen. I think some of these vendors need to improve their websites, their dApps need
connectivity, interoperability.
There's a lot that has to happen.
No, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say another big problem is I've had an issue where I'll try to move my Binance to Phantom or move my Phantom to Avalanche. Being able to just swap tokens to different blockchains, that needs to be solved, right? It's like you got to move it to this token, to move it to this token, to move it to this one to get this one. Like DAI, right? DAI can work on Avalanche, Ethereum, all the way down Phantom. Like DAI can exist on all that, and I'm like, man, like my favorite blockchain to use is DAI on Avalanche. It's cheap to transfer, fast. But then some people are like, oh no, but I use my DAI on Ethereum, so I gotta swap it over to Ethereum. They gotta make it to where you can just everything's just interconnected.
You can swap it.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't know that when I got started. I was using cryptos.com DeFi wallet. And
that's good though.
I wanted to swap some of my Crow to Ethereum, and you can't. There's no bridge.
Yeah, there's no bridge. That's it. Bridging that, like you can't.
So I sent it back to the exchange, right? That's a fee, gas fee. Then when my Crow got back to the exchange, then I had to swap that for Ethereum. There's no fee on the exchange for it because they already have it. Then I had to take that Ethereum on the exchange and move it back to the DeFi wallet. You got to pay the gas fee.
Yep.
Right. Oh, it's just like man. And then you like I said, that can add up to I might have lost $150 right now. $100
just trying to move things around.
Moving things around.
Same here with me. I was trying to figure out how to get my Ethereum over without having to buy Ethereum and pay all these gas fees. Like, man, I have like a couple $100 on this token that I can just swap over, get it over to Ethereum. It took me forever to find a bridge to get it swapped over, right? And you can look at DAI. DAI has Ethereum, Binance, Phantom, Polygon, Avalanche, Sora.
Really good. Really freaking good.
And we need to be able to, in the future, it will be seamless though. They'll figure out a way to be able to bridge things seamlessly, cheap. But it all starts with Ethereum. Once Ethereum solves that scalability problem and that fee problem, everything will be much more cheaper to move things around because you can go USD like USDC, moving from Avalanche to Ethereum. Now you're gonna be start paying more gas fee just for moving. You lose 30. You want to send $100 to a different wallet? You're losing $20, $30 just for sending it, or $10 or whatever, just for sending it. Whereas if you send it from Avalanche, it's only talking like 10 cents.
10 cents, right?
And then Ethereum, you're losing like $10. Just
I bet you somebody's listening to this right now and they're thinking, well, $25 ain't that. Yo, $25 is a lot, man. When you're moving, you're just trying to move your money. You just gotta,
bro. Yeah. You just gotta have someone use a different blockchain for a day. Just move things around. You'll see. I remember I've been using Ethereum. I stayed away from Ethereum, like using it because I'm like, man, I'm burning money just approving contracts, sending it things around, and then when I have Avalanche, I'm just like instant. Like it's just I don't even know how much it is. It's so cheap. It's under like 10.
Man, there are NFTs that I wanted to buy from friends that I have, and the NFTs are not expensive. Yeah. Like I'm gonna pay way more in gas.
$90, $50.
Yeah, I'm like, nah, man. He's
bucks.
like, listen, I give you the NFT for $10. I'm like,
$10.
Right, cool.
Gas fees, $50.
But the gas fee, $60 for the gas. I'm like, nah, man.
It's just funny to me, but that's why we're still early. We're still early in the sense where
that's the key. That's the key. People still don't believe we're early. They're like, it's too late. It's too late to get into crypto. You don't understand how early we are. This is not ready for the masses yet. The corner store is not ready to take crypto yet. But it will in the next I don't know how long it's going to take, but 5 to 10 years from now, that could be a reality. You might go to the corner store, the gas station, and use Solana Pay to get gas.
Yeah.
Or some chips, whatever the case may be.
It's inevitable that the economy that we're living in and the world that we're living in is going to be digital, fully digitalized. Your money is be digital. It's just faster. They can track it. That's what they want. They can put their hands on. It's like people may not want that. You can go off grid, right? But as a crypto investor, I'm looking at it as this is a shift in the world. It happens every couple hundred years where there's a big shift where you can actually invest into something and then change your whole life of your family tree, right? Your kids, et cetera, like all that stuff. We had that we went from steam, how like boats and all that crap, like the steam engines to motorized engines. And then we went from horse and carriages to cars. People were against the car. Like, I don't want. They freaking love their horses, man. They love their horses. The newspapers. Even all the way to emails. People freaking out over emails. Why are you sending all this information via emails, right?
Mm-hmm.
Emails to chat, being able to chat. People used to write letters and have their doves send it to them. Or little guy on a bike would just deliver it. Bro, like now it's just so seamless. Can never even go think of a world that was like that. Like, really? Like, that's how you guys used to live? How do you guys talk to each other? Oh, we used to go to each other's house to talk. You couldn't call them? No, and then if you
think about, I bet you the thought of having
a phone in your pocket
probably sound crazy, right?
Think of a landline where you had to stand in the kitchen and talk on the phone because of the cord, or you couldn't go anywhere. You had to stand with the cord, and you were trying to tell something like your brother or something like, hold on, you gotta put the phone down and then leave. You got AirPods, man. You got wireless. You don't even need your phone anymore. You leave your phone charging. You got your AirPods, walk around the whole house talking. Like how far we've come.
It's the same thing too. My grandfather told me when he was young, not young, when my grandfather was around 20 years old, they were telling people they need to start learning how to type, right? Typewriters was considered like, that's for women, or that's a secretary. It wasn't that. So men would feel like, typing's for women, man. I don't need to learn how to do that. Blah, 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 blah. I don't need to learn how to use a computer. That's really for people who do secretary work, and primarily those were, ladies.
I need to be out in the field, using my hands, right?
Using my hands. And now, look, you can't even get a job. You can't do anything without using a computer.
You need basic tech skills. Microsoft Word, type. Microsoft Excel, yep.
You can't type, you're done. You can't do absolutely anything. You can't type anything. You don't have an hour to type one word. You got to be able to just go. So it's similar to writing.
People type like with their fingers like this.
Yeah, he puts his glasses on. He looks at the key. Go 1, 2. Typing his email is like 5 minutes. It's like, man.
Now we're just.
And he said he regretted saying that. And by the way, people, if you did learn how to type, this is kind of where we are in crypto. If you were one of those people let's say you're a young gentleman, you're like, I want to learn how to type, man. I think this is cool. People made fun of you. You were called bad names
Yeah.
if you tried to do that. Similar to now, at my job, I work with a bunch of people, and just for anyone who missed it earlier, I work in the tech space, and I'm 30 years old, but most of the people I work with are in their late 40s
Yeah.
to early 50s. And one day the conversation comes up, and I say, man, I do invest in crypto, and they laugh at me and call me stupid. I'm gambling. They say
They
all
think
types
it's a
of crazy
gamble.
stuff to
I
me.
mean, it is, but they really think that it's just going to be pushed off on the side of the corner of the world forever.
It's an investment. Any investment, if you really think about it, any investment, it's a gamble.
Mm-hmm.
If you invested in Amazon in 1998, that's still a gamble. Who knows if Amazon would have did well or not?
Tesla.
But if you see their vision, you say this is an educated investment, not a gamble. A gamble is, there's no educated. It's just a guess. Right now, we know that this technology is going to, from our educated guess, is going to consume the entire world, and that's why we're putting our money into it.
Mm-hmm.
And we're not just hoping it happens. Like, we're doing the work. That means we're constantly watching charts. We're constantly checking into Cryptologic podcast to get news and updates. We're on TikTok, which I appreciate TikTok because it helps with that too. It makes it easier. You watch a 30-second clip and someone told you 3 things you need to take a look at, right?
Yeah.
Okay, let me go online and do some research on that. But back to my point, what I'm trying to make is, what's going to happen is we're taking this knowledge that we're consuming from these sources, and then we take our hard-earned money that we work, and we take a percentage of it and we put it there. Just no different than taking that same money and putting it in a 401k, right? What's the difference? Yep. The market can go a bit down. If you lose your job, don't your 401k go away?
I think it's liquidated or something like that. Yeah.
It's no difference. There is no difference. And what we're saying is, I rather take my shot here in crypto than just throw all my money in the 401k and wait till I'm 70 years old to cash out on that. And still not have enough. And still not have enough
to live comfortably. Yep. And we're blessed with the opportunity to have this shift that's on the horizon. Whereas when we were, our grandparents didn't have the opportunity to go and Google something and figure out how to do that. You had to know somebody. You couldn't invest into the internet back then. You had to know some people in the tech industry at that time.
You couldn't go to and correct me if I'm wrong, to invest in the stock exchange, then you have to go to a broker.
Yeah, it was a piece of paper.
Piece of paper.
It was a stamp, and a seal.
They go and then they go do it for you. Then they come back to you. Think about how long that process took.
You had a little envelope with your name, and it has like, John owns 300 shares of this company, and it has a little seal on it. And when you had to go cash in, you got to give them the little paper. Here, if you lose that paper, your stock is gone. I don't know if they have the record of it, whatever, but it's crazy. It was everything was so physical, and everything's not going to be physical moving forward. That's why they work out economic form. Says you will own nothing and be happy. Everything will be on the blockchain. Your driver's license will be verified. No more fake driver license. They'll be able to scan the QR code and verify that, this is a real driver license. Okay, it's linked to you. You're the owner. Okay, here you go. Car insurance, the deed to your house, your medical records, everything. You get in the car accident.
That scares people, though. Those things you're saying scares people, but it's nothing you can do about it. It's going to happen anyway. Yeah, you can't stop it. So you can say, I don't want that. It's going to happen anyway.
Everything's going to be powered by the blockchain. That technology that was existed, and NFTs took it to a whole nother level. All these new developers are figuring out ways to make it better, faster, more efficient. How can it be utilized? It's going to be an inevitability that it's going to be a part of our everyday life, just like emails are, just like text messages are, just like phone calls are, driving, electric cars too. Buying on Amazon is a thing. It's the normal thing now, right? Yep. Is it on Amazon? Did you buy that on Amazon? That's the first thing people ask you. Where'd you buy that? Amazon? Yep. Can I get that on Amazon?
And I bet you, if you go back in time, people would thought you were crazy. You could buy groceries, food, milk,
fresh, eggs, fresh tomatoes delivered to your house, delivered to you. You don't even gotta leave it. It's the way the world is moving. They want everything faster, efficient, cheaper, right? Costs no more paying people all this money to do things. You have the AI do it, the computer do it. Boom, efficiency. You the workers on Amazon see a list of things they need to bring you. Boom, boom, boom. Go shop, go get it, go bring it to you faster. That's why even the stores on Amazon, you walk into the store, they have the checkout thing where when you don't
you don't touch. Yeah. I never
put it in your cart and you leave. You can literally just leave. It'll automatically know that it'll charge your account.
Wow. And
Like
all these things that
it's
you're saying
crazy. It's
is
just
it's crazy, but the even better part is it doesn't matter if you like this or not, like the way the world is going, right?
yeah.
Everyone can have their own opinion on it. Me personally, I hear people talking about self-driving trucks,
Me too. That's what
tractor
I talk about all the
trailers.
time. That's gonna happen.
That's going to
No more
happen.
truck
I know
drivers.
that's going to happen. I
Mm-hmm.
don't personally like that. But what
Exactly.
I would do, I got to also think about myself and my family. Can I get some type of benefit from this? Is there a way for me to invest in this early? So when this is a mainstream thing, I can take that benefit and maybe not have to work as hard as I do in my everyday life.
Mm-hmm. And you can just
That's where the
live.
crypto. This is
Yeah.
where the crypto space is now. I'm not looking to make $100 million, right? I just need a couple of $1,000 to start my own business where I'm not dependent on my 9 to 5 job. Or maybe I don't
Exactly.
need to work 40 hours a week. Maybe I can work 20, right? And then take my earnings and work on my own business for myself. That's how you have to think of this. And crypto is going to give us this opportunity
Yeah.
if we take the time to learn.
We have the opportunity to take advantage of this that's literally laid out on our lap and invest into it before it becomes a normalcy. Everyone's using it. It's part of everyday lives to where you can't invest into it and change your life anymore, right? You're just investing into it just as a hedge. Right now, it's actually you're able to invest into it to reap the rewards when this thing becomes a $10 trillion market overall.
Yes.
And we're in
10.
early enough.
Imagine when it gets to a 30 trillion.
30,
I'm talking
40,
down the line.
50, you know? And I'm 29. I'm about to be 30 in the summertime in August. So I'm like, we got time. We got nothing but time. You know, just
you
stay
gotta
healthy.
think
you
15,
know?
20 years
Like,
from now.
stay healthy.
Could you imagine the price of Bitcoin in 15 years?
But see, a lot of people in the crypto space, they don't think like that, man. They think about how can I make $1 million right now? I want my Lambo right now. I want to show off to my friends that I got a Ferrari right now. People don't want to think like that, bro. People really are just upset. Like people who hate against XRP, they just think that we're looking at XRP like oh, it's gonna hit 10,000. I'm like, I'm not saying it's gonna hit 10,000, but the fact that this thing can hit $10 is like more than enough for me to say, hey, I'm taking that advantage.
If XRP hits 10, I'm just telling you this. First of all, if it hit $10, right? I have enough invested into XRP. If it hit $10, I could quit my job. When I make these videos saying cryptos that I could quit my job at $10.
Like,
by the way, I could quit my job at $8. If it hits $8, I can quit. Am I rich? Do I have hundreds of millions of dollars?
But
no, I don't.
You got a
foundation. I have enough money to remember. I said quit my job, not retire. I can just stop working for a company. I can get my own business started because I have enough money to do so. People don't understand, and they say, "Oh, market cap, right? Oh, it can't hit $10." You got to think long term. I'm saying 15 years from now.
They can hit 10 for sure. Like
they go, "Oh, how's it ever going to get there?" $30 trillion. You know how much money that is? $10 trillion. Do you know how much money that is? I guarantee you, if you go back 5 years ago, people would never think Ethereum can go to 4,000.
Oh yeah, when Ethereum was at $100 or whatever.
Wasn't it? It was. I remember.
It was $200 in the summer of 2020.
Wow. Wow.
I think
let's take a look.
If XRP had Ethereum's market cap, which I think could happen because Ethereum's at what, 361 billion.
Yeah. What would it be?
So it'd be $7.51, right?
Whew.
So think about the market cap going. That's what I'm saying. XRP will hit all-time high again, which is like $3, I think, and pump to $5. But we really have to see this bull run that's gonna come, right? And that's Bitcoin being at 2 trillion, right? Being at 100,000. That's how Bitcoin will be. If Bitcoin's at 100,000, it'll be around $2 trillion market cap, I believe.
Okay.
And then Ethereum would probably be in the trillion, right? At least 750 billion to a trillion. At that point, XRP is at 40 billion right now, with a lawsuit pending.
Yeah, with a lawsuit pending. That's what's crazy. Oh yeah, and you know the moment if they win that lawsuit, that's gonna pump like crazy. If that happened right now, the news announcement XRP or Ripple wins the lawsuit, it's over.
And all that money, all that smart money, all that billions of dollars, because if they win the lawsuit or they're clarified not to be a security, that's safe. That means that it's safe. It's a good investment. The SEC cannot go after them again. They're greenlit. They're good to go. Nothing can stop it.
And they get realistic on exchanges.
Every exchange is like, yeah. And then think about the billionaires that will start looking at XRP as a safe investment. The Kevin O'Learys, the Grayscale, the venture capitalists, right?
Or
Goldman
the companies,
Sachs,
all the large
Wall
companies,
Street, yeah.
corporations. Yep.
They're gonna start going, XRP is legit. It's gonna be one of the ones, and then they're gonna flood their billions, not hundreds of millions or billions of dollars into it over the next few years or whatever the case may be, months, whatever. And you can literally see this thing skyrocket to over $100 billion market cap, 200 billion, 300 billion, 400 billion. You know what I mean? There's a lot of money out there in the world.
And that's what people don't think. They go global, the entire world. You can buy. That's why I try to explain to my friends. They always kind of funnel into United States. I said, listen, you got to think globally.
XRP around the world. Need the United States to thrive.
Correct. It doesn't. It's not basically not using it now. If you just count the exchanges, it's already at a 40 bill with all the lawsuits and all the things that's happening with it. Wait till that's over. I definitely think this thing can 10x.
And XRP solves a $1 trillion problem of basically Swift moves about a couple $1 trillion a year in regards of money being moved back and forth in regards of all the banks. Think about business owners cutting a check for $10,000 or something, they're wiring it, making the payment to their rent or their company, etc., like paying their staff. That money's just being moved around, and it's taking days, if not weeks, to clear. XRP allows that to be done within 5 seconds.
Wow.
Any amount of money. Even it can be $1 million. You can move $1 million in 5 seconds instantly. So that's why people don't understand. I'm like, XRP is basically like a wheelbarrow, and you put the coal in it, and then you just move it down the railroad, and you move it back. That's all it's doing. It's just being able to convert to XRP, transfer the money, and then you reconvert it back out. So a lot of money is going to flood into XRP, and a lot of money is going to leave, but every second of every day. And the bigger amount of XRP is, the less amount of XRP tokens is required to move that amount of money.
I see.
You know what I mean? So when XRP token's like $1,000 or whatever, I'm not saying that's going to happen, but $1 million, that's only like 10 tokens or whatever.
Yeah.
Rather than actually XRP being $1, you need 10,000 XRP tokens. Like that's the bigger the larger XRP price of the coin, the less amount of coins is required to move things around. That's the crazy thing about it. Like that's just crazy. You won't even know that actually being used. That's the crazy thing.
It's crazy. And listen, this is not financial advice, but
exactly
you will be. I would just say,
love
it. Just do some research in XRP. I personally hold some XRP, and I think it's just a great idea to take a look at it. That's all I'm going to say about that.
And there's another one that I think everyone needs to learn financial advice is Quant. Quant's like one of my favorite tokens as well. Are you in the Quant? You're in the Quant, right? Yeah, look at that.
Yes.
Quant
is actually my largest. Is it my largest holding? It's close. It's either one. It might be two. I might have a little bit more money in Dogecoin actually, and I know a lot of people are gonna be mad at that, but I've already made the money. I've already made the money from it.
Yeah.
So,
like Quant deserves to be in the top 10. And I feel like Quant is inevitably something that, like, if you have like 10 of these tokens, like, oh man, life will change, but you'll be a very happy person. Obviously, you want to get. But the thing about Quant is that this thing was, if you look at the trajectory of Quant was $2 on March of 2020.
That's crazy. That's like a year ago.
Yeah, $40 in March of 2021, and then today in March of 2022 is 127. Where this isn't going to be in March 2023. It's only going up. It's only
it's only going up. If it hits the market cap of BNB, it's $5,000, $5,960 for one. And guess what? It's $127
right here. Now. 214 March 2020, and then you go to March 2021. So it went from $2 in a year. It went from $2 to $40 right there. $42.
And you think about that too, right?
Imagine
having $200 worth of Quant at $2.
But it's like we're still technically a little early because this thing is inevitably going to be something that's just outrageously, you know what I mean? Imagine if the market cap goes to like Luna's. You know what I mean?
Let's see. Luna. $2,500 for one. Just one. Just one single one.
And that's,
you don't think $2,500 is a lot of money?
But
Actually,
imagine,
so
yeah, like 10 of these tokens. You know what I mean? Like 10,
yeah,
50, just dollar cost average, buying one quant a week,
yep.
or
Or
every
a
two
month,
weeks, or a
whatever you
month.
can,
Yeah,
whatever you got, right?
just treat it like
You
a
know,
bill. It's your
you
phone
treat it like a
bill.
bill. It's your phone bill. I actually took a strategy that I used is so, and I don't mind sharing this with people. I was working obviously one single job, and I had a nice place I was living in, had a nice car, but the expenses of keeping that stuff up was so high. Basically, when
Yeah,
I got paid, I spent all of my money.
yeah.
So I basically downgraded.
That's the best way to do it.
I got a small place now. The
Mm-hmm.
rent that I'm paying here is so low compared to what I was paying before.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking. I'm now spending not even. I'm spending like 30. All my expenses in one month is only 30% of what I make.
That's
Where
amazing.
before
It was like
it was
60
90.
plus,
No, it
90.
was 99%.
Damn.
I had a 1% wiggle room. You know, and then if your car breaks down or something like that,
Yeah.
you're under.
Unexpected expense or whatever.
Unexpected expense. So the place that I'm living in now, it's not the nicest place. It's somewhere where I can live. I can keep working. I picked up a second job on top of it. So
That's smart.
I increased my income. I reduced all my expenses to bare minimums. I'm not buying anything super expensive. I go to Walmart and I buy sweatpants and shirts there.
Yeah.
I work from home now, so I'm not spending.
Save on gas.
I used to spend like $500 a month on gas because I worked. I'm from Pennsylvania and I worked in New Jersey, so
Yeah, you
I
could
would
drive.
I drive across states every day. So you add all this stuff up. I have saved so much money by basically reducing my life expenses. A lot of people can't do that. It's
It's
hard.
pride. Yeah.
It's pride, you know. People saw where I live now. They go, man, why are you living here?
And
Because this
they
place
look
is
at your age. They're like, oh, by 30, you should have everything figured out. And that's the
Yep.
problem
You should have a
yes,
house. You should
kids,
be,
wife, all that stuff.
yeah. I'm not worried about. I want to get those things, right?
Exactly.
But
Yeah.
that's why I'm working at it now. I had to look at myself, and I did this last year. I said, listen, I don't like what's happening. I don't own anything. I have student loan debt because I went to college.
Mm-hmm.
I want to pay this debt off, the student loan debt. I don't owe them anything. I'm going to reduce all my expenses. I'm going to find the cheapest place I can possibly get. And I promise you, this place that I'm living in, if I told you how much this rent was, you would fall out your chair. Like, it's that cheap. It is so cheap where
You have a place to sleep
I
every
don't
day.
even
No worries.
no worries.
You get to invest. You get to live free.
It's safe. It's safe. It's warm. I get to invest, and at the end of the day, this is temporary. This is not a long-term plan. I don't plan on
Exactly.
staying here for the rest of my life. But for right now, I'm going to take that extra money that I'm making. Now I got 60% of my income back.
Mm-hmm.
Now I can learn how to invest in things like life insurance. I can now invest
Yes.
in things like crypto. I can invest in other business. I also do forex, and I know that forex gets a bad
Reputation or
rap, but
whatever. Yeah. Yeah.
I don't do like the marketing thing where you join my team. I don't do any of that. I just trade. I have trading bots. I trade currencies, and I
Yeah.
do that on my own. So I have money invested in there, but I didn't have those opportunities before. So I
Yeah.
learned that the way I was living before was silly. I didn't own nothing. I just rented everything, and it usually, after a while you get
More
priced out.
liabilities and assets. Yeah.
Correct. And now that I'm at this point, invest this money. I tune into podcasts like this. I listen to YouTube channels. I'm learning about how to manage money. This is a skill that I did not have before. And now I'm trying to learn how to do it now. And if you want to do those things, listen, now it's time to start. You can follow us on TikTok
Yeah.
and Twitter. You
Yeah.
can listen to this podcast. And you got to say, hey, I need to take a step back. So that way, in 5 to 10 years from now, I'm living comfortable.
Fact. You just dropped the hammer. That's something I wish, like, how you're living right now was like, I think a lot of people have this opportunity, right? I know it's like, speaking personally, like people that I know, right? People who were born with luck to where they have like parents.
Yes, the
They're able to
parents
live.
could help them.
Yeah, they could live at
Yeah,
home. Like, hey, stay as long as you need. Because some parents that make good money, hey, I want you out of here by 20. I want you to get a job. I want you to get on your own, right? Or they and then some parents that can't. You got to help your parents out, right?
Yes.
And
so you don't really get to help yourself.
yes, and you gotta like, oh, I gotta help my parents out. I gotta like, or some people have one parent, right? They have one parent they gotta take care of. Like one parent. It's so many different variables. And I'm talking about the people that actually were lucked out to where they have either one or two parents where they say, hey, stay as long as you need. I'm good.
Yeah, your
I'm
parents
helping
are
you
good on
out.
their own.
There's food in the
You save
groceries.
you save up your money
Exactly.
and make
Yeah.
something better
And I
yourself.
know so many people that don't even take advantage of that. They want to get out. They want to pay the $2,000 a rent for an apartment.
Rent.
They want to get a nice car. They want to go out every weekend and party. And I'm like, bro, what are you doing? Like, you got the
That's a
opportunity that
trap.
I wish I had when I was
That
20
is
years
a
old.
trap.
Where
That
I'm
is a
like,
trap.
I will milk the heck out of it because I'm trying to. I understand now. Obviously, I'm older now. 10 years from when I was like 20, right? Of oh, my parents are good. They told my good. All right, well, let me build a business. Let me build investments. Let me build a portfolio. Get some assets. And then by the time you're rolling in your 30s, you're free.
Shoot, you don't even need to give that long. So
Exactly.
I have one friend I went to high school with at 18 years old. He didn't want to go to college. I don't know why we make fun of people. Like, college is not for everybody.
I
And this
can't
is
do it.
coming.
I can't do it. And I went.
This is
Yeah,
coming from someone. I have 2 college degrees. I'm telling you that if I could go back, I wouldn't even went.
bro.
You know,
Right.
I spent more time reading package and just
Turning
reading
things in by
stuff,
midnight.
turning things in by midnight, and then I got to pay $70,000 for that. Right? It was more
It's like
self-learning. They just told you to read something. Read this, and here's a test.
It's
You know,
crazy.
you can now, with the technology we got with YouTube and the internet, you can learn a lot of this information on your own. But
Faster
I
too.
have a friend that I went to high school with. People made fun of him because he didn't want to go to college.
Mm-hmm.
And his dad owned a car wash, just a car wash. You go and clean your car. He started working at that car wash at 18. He worked there for about 4 years. His dad made him a manager of that location. Right? He learned how everything works, how to manage the business. It's just clean. It's a small little car wash. It doesn't make a ton of money. After a while, he figured out how to generate more revenue at that car wash. He stayed at home with his parents, so he didn't have to pay any bills. He just went to work, came home, saved up his money, and figured out how to improve this business. By the time he was 27 years old, he made enough money to buy 2 more of those car washes. And now
Scale it.
at like 28, 29, he's making $300,000 a year. No
Good.
debt, own business. He's not a slave to anybody else. And I look at him as all those people made fun of him. And look at us now. We went to these schools. We got
That the
jobs
system told us to do.
we went straight into the system. The system wanted us to do these
That's
things.
what they want. They want you to.
And
They
now look
want
at
you
us.
to live
We're
that
stuck.
99% life that you're living. Pay the bills, pay your taxes, and stay afloat. They want that. You know what I mean. They don't want innovation. They don't want, you know what I mean. And the people that can crack the code and get out, they live the lavish life. Not even
Correct.
lavish, as in trips, free. Everyone just wants to be free and just get in that whatever
Free. That's
gives
the
you
that's
time.
the word.
Gives
That
you
is the word.
time.
Free.
Time is the only thing that matters in everyone's life, is having time to do what you want. Whether
Correct.
it's hang out with your kids, whether it's hang out with your family, your parents, your brother, your sister, wherever. Go wherever you want. Just
go
be
to the
free.
gym.
Yeah.
Right? It's just you gotta think it this way.
TikToks.
Make
free.
TikTok.
Be free. This is I gotta work. I gotta clock in. Be at my office till 5. You get home from 5. You're stuck in traffic. You got your car is, you're paying $500 a month for this car payment that's just stuck in the parking lot for 8 hours every day.
Yep. Or even ask yourself, if you had a friend that came in town right now and it's Sunday night, and they go, "Hey man, you wanna come? We want to drive down to the shore tonight. You want to go?" You probably like, "Oh man, I gotta go to work tomorrow, man."
Yep.
You're bound to that clock. You're trapped.
Yeah.
You can't just go, "Okay, let's go to the shore, man. I don't got nothing
You don't
to
care
do
what
tomorrow."
time you get home. You don't.
Yeah, doesn't matter. You can sleep there if you need. You don't gotta come back. You can go all the way down and just stay there.
You gotta get home, get your clothes ready, clock in, get ready to deal with whatever you have to deal with. It's just crazy how so many things when I was younger, like not realizing until obviously I was like 26, 27 when I started clicking a little bit. 25 at least, 26, and I had a job, right? And it started clicking a little bit. And then when crypto came into my life, just completely changed everything that I thought about life. Like, everything was a joke. I wish that had, obviously you don't want to go back in time because you learn, you live and you learn.
No, I think so. You're blessed because what you learn, look what you're doing with it now. You got this platform where you're sharing this knowledge with people. You don't understand how much that is a blessing for a lot of people. I have friends that, they're not big into crypto, but you know what I tell them to do? I send them your podcast. Hey, just listen to this while you're
listen to people's stories and stuff.
While you're cleaning the house up, just throw it on and get your cleaning done.
Appreciate
or while you're driving, just listen to it. Put it on in the car. And you don't need to do anything. You don't need to buy anything. Just listen to the podcast. Listen to the stories that all these people are telling you. And then
Yeah.
when you start seeing it in the news and you look at it and go, what the? You go, oh man,
Ethereum.
they were telling me this. They were
Ethereum.
telling me
XRP.
this.
What the heck?
Uh-huh.
Quant.
And now you realize, hey, these people are trying to give you free knowledge. This doesn't cost anything to hit that like
Exactly.
and
Just your
subscribe
time,
button.
just to listen. Yep.
Correct.
Bro, I
Or you
appreciate you though.
or you can just listen to music.
Yeah.
You gotta come
Music.
to a point where you go, okay, how do I make myself better?
People devote more time watching their shows, making it a priority when they get off work. Put on a show and get lost for 10 hours and binge watch a show, right?
Yeah, then repeat.
Which, hey man, there's no problem. You have your escape, but people that do that like every day and they don't consume new knowledge, that's the thing that I remember because I've been reading a lot, right? I on my books right here. I've been reading, and people just they get you trapped and they want you to forget about
That's the system.
being a child,
Yep.
questioning things, trying to learn things. Why does that do that? Why is it like that? Why we forget about all that stuff and we don't even want to learn anymore. They give us books to read to memorize. We're not learning anything. We're just memorizing stuff.
Yep. And then you forget the stuff anyway after a long period of time, Like, do you remember, was it the A squared plus B squared equals C squared?
No, I barely remember PEMDAS, the PEM parentheses, exponents, multiplication, division, addition, subtraction. I barely remember that.
I don't remember how to divide fractions. Like, I just
common
use a calculator. Yeah. Like,
but they want us to not have innovation. They don't want us to be creative and think and learn and grow. They want us to make sure you show up on time, make sure you clock out, make sure you can pay your rent, make sure you can pay they want, like, it's just crazy when they don't teach you about passive income. They don't teach you about investing and all that stuff. Like, it's
they
just
don't teach you about taxes.
It's just crazy. Yes. And it's just crazy how the whole world is programmed like that, and people are just stuck in this little cycle, and they do that, and then they reproduce, and then they make their children get stuck in that cycle. And and I've said it takes one person to crack that, and your family tree will never theoretically should never fall back in that cycle ever again. It takes one person.
Yes.
Because then you'll teach it to your children. Then their children then they'll teach it to their children, and they'll never fall back in that cycle again.
Yes, and that person that's going to break that cycle is us.
Yes, we have the opportunity.
You listening to that?
Best opportunity.
The people that's going to do that. We're not going to say a person. We're going to say it's going to be us. We're breaking that cycle. That's why we're having this conversation. If you're listening to this podcast, this is why you're listening to it right now, because you're going to be that person that's going to break the cycle for your family.
Exactly. That's just how, and it's crazy when you look back at it. I think about high school and I went to community college, right? So I think about high school and how I just felt like it was a waste of time, right? Because I'm not learning anything, and we were there for 4 years. We were there. It's just there's more millionaires that didn't go to college, and you know what I mean. Then I just realized it was all a lie. Everything was a lie. Crypto made me even more realize, like, dang, this is. I don't even care about political stuff. I don't care about, none of that stuff. I care about, like, they're all have their own agendas, man.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And it's just crazy, bro. Like how every person I talk to, it's like that's in crypto. They had that realization, like, man, like I've always worried about the wrong things growing up.
I think that's an after effect of crypto. When you start really getting into crypto, you start learning, doing research, you start learning financial literacy. You have to,
right?
You have to understand why you're investing.
Patience.
Yeah, you gotta be patient. You start learning about how market trends work.
Research.
You learn that. So you learn that. You also start learning about this system that we're kind of like brought up in, because what's going to happen is when you learn about something that's great, guess what you're going to do? You're going to be like, man, I found out this amazing thing. I'm going to share it with my friend or family member. Then you realize, oh my God, their programming doesn't allow them.
They can't break it.
They cannot break the program.
The innovation. They don't see the future. They're like, no, the dollar's not going anywhere. I'm like, do you understand what's going on with inflation right now? Like, being in crypto, you understand what's going on with inflation even more so, like how useless the dollar is becoming.
Yep. And if you don't see that, just ask your grandparents, right?
$600,000 in 1980 would be worth like $3.8 million today.
That's nuts.
And I learned that watching that Lakers show where they paid Magic Johnson $600,000 or something. And I Googled, like, how much was $600,000 worth in 1980? $3.8 million. So having 600,000 back then was equivalent to having $3.8 million today.
I also think
Look at
my
that.
grandmother at 22 years old had a 6-bedroom house. I don't know anybody that I no one I went to school with owns a 6-bedroom house at 30.
A couple million, few $1,000,000.
6-bedroom house in mass. When I say this yard is massive, you can probably easily fit more than 10 to 15 cars in a yard. It's that big. And that's because at that time, the value, first of all, jobs paid. I know people hate this stuff, but they paid wages where you can live off of. It don't matter what you did. You could go to a factory and you can make a good living.
You could
You
be a
didn't need to go to
milkman.
college. You could be a milkman. You can deliver newspapers as long as you worked hard. That's really what's the key. You just need to put in the work.
Yep.
You put in 50, 60 hours at that factory, you're doing good. You can
go buy a house.
You won't be like, I don't know, you need 4 roommates to get a 2-bedroom apartment. You won't need that.
Oh, God.
And you're in California, so I can only imagine.
I want to leave California, to be honest with you. Like, either go up north a little bit, because I'm in southern, where it's, like where Disneyland is, that area, like Anaheim, kind of like 30 minutes from LA. I feel you, bro. I'm trying to go out. It's too much. The world that we're changing into is just too much. It's like, that's why people are moving to Puerto Rico, bro. People are moving to Sweden. People are moving to Germany. People are moving to places where it's like, hey, I'm free. I can live on an island.
You're not trapped with just rent every month. I know people paying like $3,000-$4,000 for like 2 rooms. I'm like, yo, $4,000, man.
$2,000 for a 1 room.
Like, know what type of homes you can buy in certain areas for this type of money?
In Minnesota, North Carolina, or whatever the case.
Do the math on
Nevada.
that. Imagine if you stayed there for 3-4 years. You do the math on that $3,000-$4,000 every month, and you don't own it. After like 3-4 years, you've given these people hundreds of thousands of dollars for something you don't own.
It's just crazy to me how we've, like you said, we've just been programmed to think that that's okay. Like, pay your car every month, pay your rent, pay your $2,000, $3,000 a month, and you took advantage and said, you know what, I can actually live on my own and scale down what I'm spending and scale up what I'm investing. You know what I mean? And and you're lucky in that regard, right? And there's people out there, like, that's what I've been doing. I've been trying to cut down what I've been spending.
It's hard. It's hard to do. I'm telling you, when I tell you it was hard, I was drinking, I was depressed. It's so difficult for me to leave. I have all my, everyone who's ever moving is stressful. Yeah. And then you got to find the place. This place was, so I'll let you know, this place that I live in is $700 a month. It has 2 rooms, right? The place that I was living in was more than double this. It was like $1,500 a month. It was nice too. Nice place to live in. Nice place to live. Everything. Yeah. It was a gated community. Had a park. It was peaceful. Where I'm at now, it's not that nice. It's like on a main street. I can walk right across the street. It's like a gas station. You know what I'm saying? It's like one of those areas. Yeah. It's on the 2nd floor, so it's not the nicest
ideal.
Living.
Yeah.
Ideal. But I know, like, hey, this is a temporary thing where I can actually now accumulate things that will help me in the future, instead of just taking all of my money and keeping something that I don't own.
Exactly.
And struggling through it. So if you can, definitely that's what you want to do, scale down, and then you start learning ways to invest your money. It don't even need to be crypto, just something, whether it's your business, whether it's something else that you may want to invest in. You just want to do that. And then you do that for a couple of years, 3 to 4 years, you get yourself together, you get some money saved up in the bank. Yeah. Feels good to have some money. Yeah. Right. And then you can go ahead and get something a little bit better. But it only takes you, imagine right now, if your rent, for anyone that's listening to this, imagine if your rent, they shaved off 60% of your rent right now, you got to save that money every month. How would that make you feel? Or even better, for the last 5 years, they cut you a check of the last 5 years of the rent you paid and gave it to you right now. So let's say your rent's $1,000. Let's just use this flat number. Your rent
times
that's
5.
$12K a year times
60.
5. So you just got a check for $60,000, $70,000 right now. How'd that feel? You just looked in your account, had $70,000. Is that life changing? I believe $60,000 right now in your account is life changing, because you can do a lot with that money.
Exactly. Yep.
There's a lot you can do with $60,000. You can start your own business. right? There's tons of
Put
avenues you
some
can invest that
investing.
money to
Yeah.
compound and get compound interest in. And that's the way I saw
Buy
it.
some
And you know where I
assets.
learned this from? I learned this from a TikTok video.
That's what the world we're
TikTok
living
video.
in. That's the
That's
world
the
we're
world we're
living.
living in. Shout out to TikTok.
We just pull up something on TikTok, watch a 60-second video, and learn something. Like, whoa, change your whole mindset. And that's why I'm excited for what's to come in regards of people who are starting to realize this. People who are getting into crypto, getting into investments, and starting to turn off the programming and exit the matrix. You know what I mean?
That's the word. Turn off that program.
Yeah, and then it's gonna happen over time. More people are gonna flood in and start realizing, like, yo, I've been
I
living a
definitely
lie.
think younger people, like you got kids now in high school saying this, like, I ain't going to. They don't want to get into the whole trap of I'm gonna spend 80 because college keeps going up. It's 100,000 for some schools, 150,000 depending on where you go. And they go, I'm not taking out a loan for 150,000 to go to school for 4 years
Set
to get a
myself
job
back just to pay it
set
back.
myself back. You pay it back when you're 47, 48, 49, 50. And then you can get started.
Half the time you don't even make enough a year to pay that back. Like you get $100,000 loan, you only make like $60K a year.
Mm-hmm. Remember, you got to pay taxes, right? So that's 60K ain't 60K. Then rent takes up everything.
And you're gonna want a car, right? You're gonna want a car.
Right? You have to. You need a car to
People
get. You need
leave
a car to
college
get to
and
work.
like, oh, I have a degree. I need to get a nice car. Like you're going backwards if you get like people think like that. They think that they're going backwards if they don't get like a small hoopty car like that's just gonna get them point A to point B. Like, no, I need to get a nice car. I need to get a brand new car because I just got a degree. And people get into that cycle.
You lease a brand new BMW. You take out a $45,000 loan for a BMW. You got a $600-700 car payment.
8-year payment. 8 years.
Yo,
if people are okay
I'm
with
laughing.
That.
Listen.
I was that guy though.
But I did this. Okay. So you did
7
it too.
years. Yeah.
I did a 6-year. Listen, you think that's funny? I did a 6-year payment on a car that was old, an old car. Stupid. I was so dumb, man.
But that's
and
how
I finally
they get
paid
us.
that off.
They get us to be in that predicament, and we're able to break out of it, and our mission is to be able to help people break out of it as the world progresses. In 20 years, there'll be a new technology that comes out, right? But I think it'll still be related to blockchain, to crypto. Yep. I think blockchain and crypto is going to take over for the next 100 years, long after we're gone. I think this is like the last shift of our next 2 generations of something monumental happening, like the internet.
Yes, this is Internet 2.0.
This is still connected to the internet. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
I don't know what the next big thing is, but this is technically still connected to the internet. This is the newer version of the internet that's coming out.
Correct.
So the next thing would probably be virtual reality, AI. That's like in the far advanced future. Where
maybe some type of integration into the metaverse, probably. Something of that nature. You can see already big companies are already investing into that space now. So it's definitely coming.
Like holograms and stuff like that. True VR AI stuff. Like I think it's called dystopian type worlds. Like a dystopian where we could have done this podcast and you would have been like a hologram. Like,
yo, that'd have been crazy.
Crazy, man.
Crazy.
I already think FaceTime to me is already crazy. Like being able to FaceTime your friend whenever you want. Like that's to me is like 10 years ago, 20 years ago. I was like, what the
anywhere in the world too. They could be in in Saudi Arabia.
Let me show you something. Like it's nothing.
Hey man, look at this. And in seconds too. Not like it takes an hour for the connection to get going. It's press 2 button. Hey, what's up, man? What you doing? That's like wow.
That's why I love like being able to have a podcast and just talk about to people that you probably would, like how we're able to connect. And I talked to Sage about it, like and Crypto for Change 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, how with this technology that we're in, we're bringing together people that we probably would have never met because of without
Crypto
technology,
for Change
we would have never
met.
He's in
Canada, right?
Yeah. He's in Canada.
He's in Canada.
Sage is in Miami, Florida. Yeah. You're in Florida, New York or
Pennsylvania.
And
you're in California. just like that.
And it's like it's just crazy to me. It's exciting because this is gonna happen more often. It's gonna be normalized. It's gonna be normal. And by the time it's normal, we're gonna be happy because we were in advantage early. And that's why our mission, I guess, is to try to get people to come on board and help them find their lane in whatever it is they want to do. Whether it's just be a tech developer, content creator, anything. But before you go, I kind of want to ask you, like, what is your favorite? Okay, so What made you want to start making content, right? And then go from there. I want to talk about like your cryptos, like your favorite cryptos moving forward. Like, what are you looking at? But why did you get into content creation and stuff?
So content creation, I obviously I don't do content creation for a living. I do it as a hobby because
Mm-hmm.
I generally enjoy crypto, and I think Aaron said the same thing.
Yeah,
Is I
I
there
just
was
enjoy
no
doing
one for
it.
me. There was no one for me to talk to about it.
Yeah.
I'm telling people about it. Everyone's saying it's a scam, and I'm looking at them like I already see the vision because I made the money from it already, and I'm telling other people, and they're just not hearing. So I went on TikTok and made a video. People was like, "Yo, thank you for that video." You know, you get all these people that are like, "Oh man, I'm glad
It
you
feels
made this
good.
video."
Yeah.
It feels good, and there will be someone out there that's going to see this video, and it might inspire them to get started in crypto too. So that's kind of my goal for
Mm-hmm.
content creation. I make videos to help someone else get started. I have no
Beautiful.
other agenda. Yeah. I have no link, no sign up for nothing. I'm not selling anything.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to help other people get this information about crypto. As far as my favorite tokens, I am one of my favorite projects is Ethereum name service. I've probably made like
ENS.
ENS.
Oh.
I probably made like 5 or 6 videos of it. And what's actually crazy, I'm a small creator. I don't have many followers.
We're tech. I was thinking about that the other day.
Yes. I'm big
and now,
in
DNS, we understand the power. We understand.
Yes.
But that was I was trying to tell somebody that wasn't really in the tech background. And I don't want to cut you off, but I was like, you're a tech guy. Me too. So DNS, right? The difference between Web 2.0 and Web 3.0 is this. Web 2.0, DNS, domain name servers or whatever, comes out, where companies are able to use it, utilize it.
Yep.
And thrive and whatever the case may be. Web 3.0, ENS comes out, which is essentially the same thing, but we can invest into it.
Yep.
We can use it and invest into it because of tokenization.
And if you're not familiar with ENS and DNS for anyone out there, basically what DNS is, this is what we use when you use your computer right now. When you go to a website, let's say you go to google.com to go search for something, you're not actually going to google.com. You're going to actually an IP address for google.com.
Pointed to the folder, the subroot of where the products and because I built websites, so that's exactly That's exactly
you don't have to remember the IP address of that website. So IP of Google would be 72.118. It's a bunch of random numbers that you're not going to remember. DNS will convert that name that you typed in. That's why it's called domain name service. It converts that name to an IP address for you. So you type in Google, it then takes Google, turn it to the number that we spoke about, and takes you to the site.
Where everything is saved, right? All the in the back end, like for me, like when I do WordPress on WordPress cPanel, the website is built all in the folder, right? You put the theme, you put the everything.
Yes.
The content is in folders. The IP address that you would manage in the back end of the DNS, you would point it to that folder, and then it will point to that folder, which will load all the things that are in that folder, which gives you the website. Right.
Correct.
Yeah.
And ENS kind of works the similar space for
and
crypto
it's just
wallets
instead of like .com, and
it's a full name too. Like our wallet addresses are a bunch of random
numbers. That's the IP address.
Crazy.
Okay, your volume shut off.
Hey, I'm still here.
Yeah. Could you hear me?
Yeah, I was before I cut off. I was saying my last favorite coin is Crow coin.
You cut off for like a minute.
I'm still here.
That's why I was like, yo. So. Right after, I'll edit all this stuff, so it'll be like seamless. The last thing you said before it cut off was when I said it points to the folder, and then you said that's how ENS works. .eth, it's just a bunch of random numbers, and I was like, that's like basically your IP address, your Ethereum number. So the Ethereum number is like your IP address, right?
Okay, yeah. So yeah, that's kind of how that works. And I think the last thing I said before I got cut off was, if you look at your wallet address on your crypto wallets, it's a bunch of random numbers. It's 0x1. It's long and it's easy to make a mistake with there. ENS, Ethereum name service, allows you to take that wallet address and put a real name there. It could be your name. It could be katiesmith.eth, which is much easier to remember than all those random numbers in your wallet address.
And you can put it public.
Yep, it can be public. You can add your if you got NFTs, you can have them send it to that address. It's really cool. It's not financial advice. Just take a look at the project.
I love ENS. Yeah.
take a look at the project. I have some videos on it. Actually, if you go to TikTok right now and just go to the search and type in Ethereum name service, you'll see, I think my videos, I have one of the number one videos on just that alone for some weird reason. So go ahead and check it out. But my other two favorite tokens, just before I get out of here, is I'm heavily invested in Quant, and my last one is Crowcoin, Crypto.com exchange token. I think what they're doing at Crypto.com is bananas.
Yeah,
I
and
think
they
they're
changed their name
going
to
to
Chronos
help.
too.
Yeah, Chrono. I say Crypto.com just in case
Because
if anyone's not
yeah,
familiar. But yeah,
same.
Crowcoin,
Yeah.
take a look at it. I think they're going to get a lot of people into the crypto market.
Oh,
They got a
definitely.
partnership with the NBA right now, right?
With the
The
with
Staples
Center,
Staples
yeah,
Center. Yeah, turn
FIBA
into
World Cup.
Crypto.com Arena. They got that. That's huge. FIFA. Yo, soccer is the
Yeah,
largest sport on earth, or
on
football
globally, yeah.
globally on earth. It is the biggest sport on earth. Now they got that partnership too. They're gonna be huge, man. If you have not invested in Pro, go take a look at it.
Man, those are some good picks, man. You got ENS, you got CRO, and then did you mention another one after that? Before in
Yeah, I
between that,
said Quant.
Quant. You did. Okay,
Yeah,
that's where I think it was cut off, wasn't it? So
yeah. I
sorry for
probably
our listeners. I think we had some little
yeah.
bit of a technical difficulties, but we're all good. But it was ENS, Quant, and CRO.
Yes.
Have you looked into KDA
No.
with
Let's
the
take a look
K?
at it.
Cadena. Cadena is something I think that we'll have a moment where people are gonna be like, man, I should invest in it, just like how they looked at Avalanche when it was like $2. Luna. Cadena is one, and Sage is all about Cadena too.
Oh
I'm
yeah, I saw
uh,
him talk. And it's funny. I put it usually when I listen to podcasts and I hear people say something, I just put it on my watch list and I go take a look. I start
mm-hmm.
reading and start accumulating knowledge on it. And that's what I'm
Yeah,
recommending for everyone else to do. If you hear anything
exactly.
that intrigues you, I'm not telling you to buy it. I'm just saying go take a look for yourself, and then you can make an educated guess, or not a guess, but you can make an educated decision on if this is
Decision.
a project
Yeah.
you would like to invest in or not.
And then Cadena is one for all my listeners. Another one that I'm recommending to you, but not financial advice, is Flow. You know anything about Flow?
Oh yes, Flow.
Dabber
Oh my goodness.
Labs,
Woo!
the sleeping giant,
Woo!
long
Sleeping
term blue
freaking
chip, bro.
giant, man.
They got the NFL. I mean, they got NBA first, Top Shot, NFT platform that's thriving. NFL's is gonna launch next year, this season, right? They got the NFL's version of NFT, so it's literally what they do. Dapper Labs is built on Flow. What they do is it's an open sea, right, just for that specific league. So NBA it's called NBA Top Shot. So it's historically all the greatest moments in NBA history. Kobe game winners. Shout out, rest in peace to Kobe, right? Charles Oakley, Charles Barkley, Michael Jordan, today LeBron James, Kevin Durant, anybody's plays. It could be a pass, assist, a dunk, a steal, whatever. Historically great moments of players throughout the history of the NBA, all cut out those plays, and you own those moments. You own them.
It is nutty, man.
You own those moments, and people are flipping them, selling them, buying them over. And I think about it like this: that's just with the NBA, and it's $1 billion market within that NFT, and it's only gonna get bigger. And then they signed a deal with the NFL to do the same thing. So the NFL historically, Adrian Peterson's 100-yard run or Derrick Henry, right? You'll own that moment. And then now they got the UFC too. The UFC, so you got the knockouts, the submissions, all those moments owned by you, and you could flip it and sell it. And it's just like trading card games. And think about a world when everyone's into NFTs and everyone knows how to use it. It's just literally like how DraftKings blew up. But yeah, so Flow with the UFC, NBA, NFL, sleeper blue chip long term.
Yes, Flow is one of my. I don't own any Flow. I've been paying a lot of attention to Flow, and I'm still at that point where I'm still doing my research.
Yeah.
But I am looking to, especially when we get close to the summertime. I got another side business that I've been doing a project on, and I should be getting paid out for that project a hefty amount of money. And I think I'm going to take a good chunk of the money that I'm getting from that project and invest into Flow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a list. That's why you have to have a watch list, right? You can't have you can't be investing in every project at the same time.
If only we could, right?
Unless you got billions of dollars. But at that point, do you even, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Do you even need? But it's crazy. I don't see too many content creators making videos on Flow. I do see them, but it's not very popular.
There's
It's
so
not the
many
it token yet.
because
So
people want the what's gonna pump the hardest in the next week or
there
something.
yeah, that's a bad
LCX is
way to
another one.
invest.
LCX's exchange is gonna take over. Not take over, but make a lot of people rich, make a lot of people successful.
Where are they based at?
LCX
LCX.
Liechtenstein, like
What's
in
that?
Europe,
Oh, that's it. Europe.
but
Look that
they're
up.
partnered with Quant. Quant's partnered with them. They're regulated. They're gonna offer security tokens. So
I'm about
security
to say,
token,
do they have? Is this an exchange token? The LCX token? What type of token is
yeah,
this?
it's
Look.
exchange token. What they're gonna have NFTs. They're basically going to be a better version of Binance, theoretically.
I think Binance could be better if they need to fix their site, man.
Yeah.
There's a couple of things Binance could do to really help out.
LCX is still early too, though. It's still so early. It's only 9 cents. The all-time
It's
high is like
9 cents though. I
yeah.
mean, low
The all-time
market
high is 60 cents. There's only 950 million tokens.
has a what is that 68 mil market cap?
It's still a baby.
Yeah, that's a baby.
That's why LCX could hit $10, $15, $20 easy.
This could hit this could be huge.
LCX is a sleeping giant, and it's legit. It's regulated. It's legit. They partner with Quant. They partner with all the. If you look at their tokens that they list, it's all blue chips.
My biggest worry about regulation is obviously I know this exchange is in Europe is when it hits over to the United States, it's just a pain in the butt, man. Because I feel like our government's holding back innovation.
It's by design. They're doing it on purpose.
Yeah.
Like Japan just released a list yesterday, or they announced that they're going to release a list that has 18 tokens on it that are in their country
banned.
Green list.
Green list meaning it's good.
They don't have to do any screening. They can get listed on any exchange. They get a VIP fast track to any token, anything, like basically telling their people that the civilians that live there, whoever lives there, residents or whatever you want to call them, people, these tokens are all safe. We've done the research. They're good to go. Safe, and they can go on any exchange without any audit, any verification, any screening. They're green list. They're good to go. VIP.
That's cool. I wish we would do that here.
That's why I mean, in TikTok, I'm like, yo, that's what the U.S. needs to do. We need a list of tokens. Essentially, Coinbase is that platform where if you're listed on Coinbase, then you're legitimate. But that's the closest thing we got. Everyone's goals get listed on Coinbase. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Every protocol's goal.
Maybe. You never know, man. As time progresses, I think we get some younger people and fresh minds into these positions of power, and we can kind of get some progress going here. But I think with a lot of gray hair running everything, we're stuck. Yeah, we're going to be stuck at this until kind of we get past that.
It gives us time.
And that's why we're still early out here, guys. We're early.
But yeah, brother, I appreciate you for getting on the podcast. I'm excited to release this thing today. I have some editing to do because we have some technical difficulties. Hey, it makes it fun. I'll make a TikTok.
Man, I appreciate you allowing me to come on here. I think this is what makes this podcast so good. Even before I got on here, I thought it was cool that you were just talking to these regular, everyday people. You're not talking to these millionaires you're just talking to a regular guy. Crypto Aaron's a regular guy, man. Pink Lady Crypto Save. These are regular people, everyday hardworking people that get up, they work a job or whatever they got to do for a living, and they want to share this information with the world. So I think the Cryptologic podcast is the wave. If you're not subscribed, please hit that button.
Let's go. Shout out to Ju2G. I'm gonna link all of his credentials or whatever, not credentials, but socials on. So you guys go give this man a follow. Spits facts, spits hard, good truth about crypto. Good knowledge in the crypto community. He's one of the good ones, right? He's not a shiller. Like, I know there's people out there that are just trying to, make a quick buck. He's one of the good ones. I think he's gonna do tremendously well in the crypto space. I saw you hit 1,000. Let's go.
Let's go, baby.
Yeah, he's growing. Let's go, everybody. I'll see you guys in the next episode, next video, whatever. Peace.
Peace.
Yeah.